three teams, Orlando City, Orlando Pride, and OCB. I'm taking your Twitter questions live today alone. Usually I'm joined by my lovely editor, Iliana Limon-Romero, but she's tied up at work right now, so I will be doing this solo. First, I want to just do a little bit of recap of where I've been the past week and a half or so. After the Columbus 2-2 draw, Orlando City coming back, I took off to San Jose for the MLS All-Star Game. You can see all of our coverage from the week, including videos, stories on Kaká and Kyle Larin and Tyler Turner, Orlando City's young defender who played in the homegrown game. All of that stuff is on OrlandoSentinel.com. And I came back on Saturday just in time for Orlando City to kick off a brand new era under new head coach Jason Kreis, and they were able to come back from a 1-0 first half deficit, scored 3 goals in the second half to get their first win since June 25th, 3-1 over New England. So now let's move forward, and Orlando City has been off the past 2 days. Tomorrow will be their first training session back, but I will do my best to answer all the questions that you guys have. What do we have? Orlando City bringing in any more players or anyone leaving before the deadline. Here's this big question. I know there have been a lot of questions about this. The transfer window closes August 3rd, so they have just hours to make any moves if they want to. Now, originally when Jason Kreis came in, he said that he wanted to make some changes, maybe bring in 1 or 2 new faces. Haven't seen that yet. We saw Brian Roches depart, but I'm not hearing any news that there's going to be any changes in the last minutes. Like I said, I was expecting at least 1 or 2 more, and nothing is solidified, so that can always change in the final seconds. But as of now, the rumors that are out there are not far enough along to confirm anything. What do we have? Yep.
Michael
Butera, what is Reading's timetable to return, and when might we see Aja on the pitch? All right, for everyone who doesn't know, Tommy Reading, he's been out with a hamstring injury. Kreis said that he's hopeful he'll be back on Sunday for Orlando City's Seattle game at 7 p.m., Camping World Stadium. We saw Aja on the pitch for the Stoke City friendly, but then he did not play in the home game on Sunday. So Kreis said that the players he did play showed him that they deserved it and earned their spot through performances in the Stoke City friendly and through training during that week. So he saw something in the other defenders that he did not see in Aja, but it was his first week, so there's more to see for sure, and I expect that Aja will be a crucial, whether off the bench or if he makes the starting lineup moving forward. Who's next?
Mick Marston.
At Mick Marston, with Hadji's recent play, has he secured a spot on the first team for the rest of the season? I'm not sure that Hadji has secured a spot in the starting lineup the rest of the season. As a regular call-up to the first team, I think so. I think that Kreis sees his potential. His 1 weak spot was consistency. And I think that's something he can work on and develop. And Kreis has made it very clear that he's very interested in developing, being part of the development of some of these players. So I think you will see more of Hadji regularly with the first team throughout the rest of the season. Who do we have next?
Another one from Mick Marston.
All right. Mick Marston, are there any noticeable differences in Kreis's training sessions as compared to Heath's? So like I said, unfortunately, I was in San Jose all last week, so I have not had the opportunity to see a Kreis training session yet. Tomorrow will be my first one, but I did speak with all the reporters who were covering for me while I was gone. I have heard that Kreis's training sessions are going a lot longer. The reporters are having to stand out in the heat for a good 30 minutes extra. So he's been holding video sessions longer and training sessions longer, whether that is just to get to know the team and try different things with them, and that will taper off is yet to be seen, but I'll keep you guys updated throughout this week. Who's up?
It's our
Meards
favorite.
Beards. What's up, Kyle? Any sign of Molino moving back to right with Breck on the left, or have Breck on the right if we have Hadji on the bench? So for those of you who may not know, there were a few changes. The formation stayed the same, but a few changes to the lineup in Kreis's first game. What he did was he started Hadji at right wing and Kevin Molino at left wing, and then brought Breck off the bench. And rather than switch Kevin over and start Breck on left, or put Breck in at left, which is where we would normally see him play. He kept Breck on the right, and that seemed to work well for them because Breck got his foot on a ball and crossed it over for one of the goals against New England. So I don't think that Kreis is going to switch Molino just to put Breck in. He said he's seen Molino playing well on the left and he wants to keep him there. I think it's going to take a little more evaluation. He said he's really looking hard at Breck Shea and where he can develop and what he likes, but he did like Molino on the left. So I think that we could probably see more of that moving forward.
At Mediocre John has probably the most important question here.
Are we ever going to see Orlando City SC license plates? You know, I would think there's probably a good chance of that. with everything else that they have, I think it's a good chance that maybe one day, I don't know for sure if there's anything in the works, but I will definitely ask the club about that for you.
I think that's an important question.
Yeah.
We got to get more branding all over here.
Yeah, because the magnets on 90% of the cars around town are not enough.
We need license plates.
Yeah, so we'll see. I will ask for you.
DB Orlando.
David Valentin. How is the vulnerability to counterattack and lack of speed going to be resolved? So this has been an issue all year. Vulnerability on the counterattack is been huge for them, but I think you even saw a little bit of that improved in the second half of the game. And Kreis made a point of saying that he really feels confident and believes in the potential of the group that is on the field right now and that's playing in games, and that it's small things, little tactical things that he's working on to try to close the gap on some of these issues that they've been having. He said that the talent is there and it's not necessarily any huge shakeup that he needs to work on, just small things tactically moving forward. So if the players keep responding to Kreis and what he's saying, I think you could see that change just by having more time under Kreis and working on the different tactical things that he's been working on. Who's next?
Matt Faff.
I think this is a first. I've never heard from at the Professor. How is Ramos doing? When can we expect him back? So as of right now, there's no timeline for Ramos's return yet. Originally, it was a 4 to 6 week timeline, and I think we're coming up on week 4 or 5 right now. So I would expect, I'd expect he'd be trying to come back for Sunday, but if not, that might be a little too soon, then possibly the following week.
And back to Mears Beards.
Mears Beards, what is Kreis's opinion on Rivas, that's Carlos Rivas, and where to play him in the lineup or not at all? Any chance of a loan to OCB? So as far as the loan to OCB, I think there would be a better chance that he would be transferred or let go than loaned down to OCB. I think he still has a lot to offer, and he's had some issues with unity with the team this year, and he was another one. Inconsistency has been an issue. So Kreis hasn't spoken directly about Carlos, but I think that there's a little bit of an unknown with him because of how we've seen him used so far and throughout the season. It's been a continued thing. So the speed, he brings the speed, which is something one of the previous question askers, Twitter question askers. I don't know. One way that they can do that, if he can continually work with the team well and bring his speed and consistency. So that moving forward, I will speak with Kreis this week and get him on the record of how he really feels about Carlos, but I don't think there's a chance he's loaned down to OCB.
Another repeat commenter, Trey Hellwig.
Does Kreis prefer inverted wingers? Man, you guys really want to get into his head. I haven't even seen his training sessions yet. But inverted wingers, I don't know for sure. I know that, as I said, he was really pleased with Kevin Molino and Breck Shea's play where they were this week. So I will find out and I will do some research and see if that is a trend with him and if he likes inverted wingers or has a preference. I think maybe the answer that I'm going to get is that he just likes whatever works best for the team and will go with that wherever anyone feels most comfortable. So we'll see.
I have to say, I'm always impressed when tweeters fit a 2-part question into a single tweet.
Okay, do we have that? OCSC blog, how are you doing today? Here's 2 parts. 1, any word on potential transfers? I think we touched on that a little bit. 2, any chance we see Turner get minutes at right back? Okay, so potential transfers, I'll just kind of do a recap. I think there's always a potential that something happens last minute, they get something in under the wire. As of now, there is nothing far enough along and no news that can be confirmed on potential transfers before the window closes August 3rd, that's tomorrow, right? Losing track of the days, tomorrow. So second part of that question, Tyler Turner at right back. People were really happy with his performance in the homegrown game. He was used for a full 90 minutes. He did play out of position at left back. He's typically a right back. But I do have to say, as much progress as he has made this year getting minutes with OCB, and he obviously has the backing of heavy hitters in the league like Landon Donovan, who said he believes that Tyler Turner is ready for real minutes on a first team. I just can't see it happening with Orlando City right now when you have Kevin Alston and Ramos getting ready to return from injury. I don't see where Tyler fits in there. So it'll be interesting to see how his career plays out the next few months. Who's up?
At Dark Sama.
Carlos Quijada?
We're missing Iliana today.
I know, I'm sorry. With AHA and other rumors, transfers seem to be defensive. Already have lots of defense. What about forwards or midfielders? Okay, so I think the transfers were always going to be defensive. I know there had been talk of possibly bringing in another forward when Kreis first came in, but I think that the lack of movement you've seen has been Kreis coming in and really getting a good look from the inside of what these players' capabilities are, where they stand, and what they can offer the team. And I think maybe his opinion of a lot of players has changed since he's been working with them, and I think he really truly believes that there's a lot of potential in this particular group. So yeah, I think the changes might be minimal if there are any in the next day.
Next up is Chris.
Orlando County SC, good to hear from you. Hope everything's going well. Kreis seemed genuinely surprised by Nocerino's level of play. The club feel he's turned a corner, or is he viewed as a liability? Kreis was genuinely surprised. He came out and said at the press conference, someone asked, if you weren't watching, hey, Nocerino has received a lot of criticism, but you started him. How did you feel of his play? He was actually cheered when he came off the field against New England. Kreis responded that he wanted to be honest, and that coming in, he didn't think Nocerino was someone who he would be starting or who would be seeing a lot of minutes at all based on what he'd seen of him in previous matches for Orlando City. But he came in and he echoed a lot of what Adrian Heath said when he was here, that Nocerino was one of the best players at training. He really put a lot of heart, a lot of effort in. Tactically, he was very interested in what they were doing. He was a team player and all about trying to work with the other players on the game plan and buying into what Kreis is saying. And I heard Adrian Heath say that a lot when he was here. People were wondering why Nocerino would continue to get playing time when he wasn't putting out performances that seemed worthy of it. And I think Kreis is, echoing the same thing Adrian said, that Nocerino is someone who really buys into the system, works really hard, looks very good at training, and maybe he just needs more playing time. So I think his performance on Sunday was better than it had been previously, so maybe you will see him turn a corner. I don't think that the club views him as a liability at all, but I think there's still a lot of work to do.
Those are all the tweets.
That's it?
That's everything.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. I know, I'm sorry. How long have we been on?
15 minutes.
All right, let me double check and see if we have any extra questions on Facebook or Twitter real quick. Bear with me. Oh no, I think the Facebook thing timed out. I don't know how to get it back. They're helping me. I'm technically challenged.
We're getting some background music.
Okay. All right, I don't have any questions on here. Sean, is there any way I can get this Twitter back up?
There's not much.
Or this Facebook back up?
There's not much.
Not many questions?
No.
All right, that's good.
But we're always looking forward to what you have to say about the upcoming game.
Yeah. Okay, so no additional questions. You can always tweet at me at OS Alicia D or at OS Lions. We have various people tweeting from that account at times. So let me know if you have any additional questions. I thought there was actually one about, I thought we had an Orlando Pride question. Let me just double check that real quick. I saw one about Leah Fortune. Here we go, yeah. All right, I got one more coming. Got it?
Coming right up
Okay.
from Samantha.
Samantha, we almost forgot about you, but we got it in. This is an Orlando Pride question. With Fortune retiring, do you see the Pride doing anything with that roster spot the rest of the season, or will they go with 19? Now, for those of you who have not been following the Pride, this is Leah Fortune. She announced her retirement last week after a short time with the Orlando Pride. And as of right now, Samantha, there's no plan to add a player or make any movement. They're happy with the current roster, so I think you're going to see them play out the rest of the season with the current players that they have. So that's going to wrap it up. That'll be the last one.
Do you have a look ahead?
Yeah, I'm just double checking.
Okay.
Someone said, very proud of my Orlando soccer team. So I think you guys were happy with the performance on Sunday and took a deep breath, sigh of relief. No draw. But looking ahead, we have Seattle Sounders on Sunday, home game. Before they head back out on the road, what we're going to look for is probably a more together team, even more so. I know the unity has been back seemingly under Christ. He's going to have another week under his belt to work with them and really work tactically and play with different lineup options. So against Seattle, it'll be interesting if they get another 3 points. That could really launch them into the top 6 of the Eastern Conference table, and then you might hear people start talking about playoff hopes being revived. So it'll be interesting to see. I will be there as always, and throughout the week you can check out all of our coverage on Orlando City, Orlando Pride, OCB at orlandosentinel.com. For the Orlando Sentinel, I'm Alicia DelGallo. Thanks for watching.